Thank you so much for considering Boxwood Mortgage as your preferred lender. We are very grateful for the opportunity. I created this video to help you navigate through our portal so that you can fill out your application and submit your loan documents without too many headaches. As your very first step to this approval, you're going to want to access the link below so that you can start filling out your application. One of the first questions you're going to be asked is to select whether or not you're purchasing or you're refinancing a property. The next one is going to ask, what is the type of property? Is it a single family residence, a townhome, multifamily, condominium, or manufactured home? Then you're going to select what is the use for this property. Is it for you to occupy as your primary residence? Is it a second home, which is a vacation home, investment property, or mixed use? Then you're going to be asked, what is the sales price that you desire and your down payment? You may not know the answer to some of these questions, and that's okay. We're going to find the answer together. We will have another opportunity to access this application and edit as need be. Then the next question will be your personal information. You are the borrower, and this information would be your first name, middle name, last name, contact information such as email and phone number, current address, living details. This specifies whether or not you rent, how long you've been renting for, and or if you own a property. It is important to know that when you select a year, you also select a month and not leave it blank. Then your birthday and social security number. If you don't have a social security number and you have a tax ID or an ITIN number, this is where you would place your tax ID number. If you don't have either one, then you would want to place all ones, equivalent to the number of units that the system requires. Then the next section will be your employment section. You're going to select whether you're employed by a company, you're self-employed, meaning you work for yourself, even if you pay a salary to yourself, or you're unemployed, or you're retired. Then we're going to select the income type. Additional monthly income would ask you for the source, whether it's your base salary, whether you get paid by commission, bonus, tips, etc. You're going to use the drop-down box to select the best option that fits your criteria. And then if you have any additional income, this is where you would place that information. The next section is going to be your assets. Your assets are essentially any and all savings that you have. It's important to know that a lender is going to want to see savings because this strengthens the financial picture that we're presenting to the lender. So if you have investment accounts or retirement accounts that you're perhaps not using for this transaction, it is important to show them and provide the documentation because it's going to show strength in that area to the lender. So the assets would be your checking account, savings account, retirement account, bonds, or other type of investments. After you completed the section of your assets, you're going to be asked for additional real estate property that you own. If you own property that's free and clear, meaning it's already paid off, you still have to select yes because this property still has expenses associated to owning that property, such as taxes and insurance and sometimes homeowners association fees. If you don't own any property at all, you're going to select no. Then it'll ask you for additional details relating to your marital status, whether you're married, unmarried, or separated. It's important to know that if you select unmarried or separated, but you've been married before, in the state of Texas, you will be required to provide a copy of your divorce decree. Then the next question will ask if you have child support, if you get child support income, or if you pay child support, you're going to want to answer yes there. Are you a veteran or not? That's the next question. And how did you hear about us? You will see a drop-down box where you will be able to find the realtor that referred you to us, but if you can't find it, it's okay. We will enter your agent in there. Then the next question will ask if you're a first-time home buyer or if you owned the property in the last 3 years. So if you have not owned the property in the last 3 years, you are still considered a first-time home buyer, so you're going to want to select yes. And the next section is going to ask you if you want to add additional borrowers to this loan application. So this is in the event that you want to apply with your spouse, your daughter, your son, or any other relative or other investor that's applying with you on this application. Then you want to say, yes, add co-borrower. If you're not going to add anyone else, the next section is going to be your authorization form. You're going to see a little yellow box that says, click here to agree. And that's going to allow us to be able to process your application and work on your application with your authorization. Once you complete the signature, whether you've selected to do it by hand or you typed in your name, you're pretty much done with step number 1. At the end of step number 1, you're going to receive an email confirmation that includes your link to your personalized toolbox that's going to contain all the information you've already entered on this application. You will also see a page at the end of the toolbox that says access your toolbox. You can access your toolbox by either going to your email confirmation or remaining on the same page where you were completing your application. And step number 2, you're going to want to access your toolbox and begin signing your disclosures. And these are the steps. The very first thing that you're going to see when you access your toolbox is any remainder questions that were not answered at the beginning. Whether or not you had properties or not, it's going to ask all the information for any and all properties that you selected that you did own. Then you're going to have a set of questions called the declarations. And then you're going to have to enter your ethnicity, your sex, and your race. And at the end of those questions, there will be a button that says, click here to complete your pre-qual form. After you completed your pre-qual form, you're going to see 5 green boxes, 4 at the top, 1 at the bottom. You're going to want to access the one at the bottom that says disclosures. When you access your disclosures, you're going to be asked to put your last 4 digits of your social security or tax ID, or remember, if you put ones, then you put 1111. When you access the disclosure box, you're going to see an envelope on the left-hand side that says Boxwood Wet Disclosures. These disclosures are required by the state, and they're required in order for us to be able to work on your application legally. You're going to want to sign documents by clicking on the button that says Sign Documents here. Another page is going to pop up that's going to ask you to generate a signature and to agree to sign in that manner. Then you're going to see all your disclosures that you need to begin to sign. You will see at the beginning of the disclosures that you will see a little yellow arrow that indicates where you're to sign. Next to the yellow arrow, you're going to see a little blue box, and that is exactly where you want to place your finger or your mouse to begin signing. Remember, you've already created the signature, so all you're doing is clicking buttons. Exactly where you see the yellow flag as well as the blue box. One of the second forms on this disclosure is going to be your credit card form. The first one is going to be your borrower's authorization that allows us to work on your application. The second one is the credit card form, and that's so that we can process the credit report. And usually the credit report will cost about $39. So you want to enter either one credit card or a debit card that we can use to be able to process the credit report. Once you've completed all the signatures and all the little yellow flags are gone, you should be done. And there will be a section that will tell you that you've completed all signatures. This box will say data points or signatures completed, and you're going to hit yes, just to confirm that you've signed every single document. Then when you finish, it's going to bring you back to that same little envelope that says receipt of your home loan toolkit, and next to it is going to say signatures completed. It's going to have a date on it, and that tells you that you've basically completed your signatures. After that, as step number 3, you're going to want to go back into your portal where you see the 5 green boxes, and now you're going to access the box number 2, the green box number 2 that says supporting documents. When you access that box, you're going to see a list of documents that pertain to your loan. This is the same list of documents or requirements that we emailed you as well with the application link. You can see on the right-hand side when the documents are needed because they do pertain to your loan application. If there's something on here that doesn't pertain to you, don't worry about it. Just skip it and we can always discuss later. To upload your documents in the right section, you're going to use the upload box. On the left-hand side, you're going to browse in your computer and or your phone for that document that goes there. And on the right-hand side, you're going to dictate which type of document you're uploading so that it can categorize it in the right section. Then you upload documents individually. You do not want to upload documents in the same upload because one will overwrite the other. In addition to that, if there are some documents that you're not sure what category they fall under, you can always put other. We will get them anyway, and we will review them for you. As we begin to review your documents, we will either accept them or reject them if they did not meet the initial requirement. You're going to see in your portal where it says pending review, and that means that we have not been able to get to it, but we will get to it and review it and let you know if it's acceptable or if it needs to change and why it would need to be changed. Step number 4, be on the lookout for an email for a loan partner, Dalia, or myself. We will send you an email to let you know that we have accessed your application and reviewed all your documents, and we will let you know what's still pending, if any. If the file is completely done and we've completed all the loan requirements, the file then will be released to me for review. In this review, I'm going to evaluate your income, your savings, your credit in combination, and begin looking at your best loan options. Once we define those loan options, I'm going to generate an approval letter along with a couple of closing cost worksheets that are going to include your monthly payments and closing costs with your down payment. The idea with this closing cost worksheet, the different ones, along with the pre-approval letter, is that you have an idea before you begin looking at properties what those numbers look like and you can prepare better.